Good morning, everyone. Give me a moment to get set up here. All right. So we are in phase 2 of our live funding challenge. I did get the credentials. I need to log in. But as far as UCAD, we got exactly what we're looking for here. So after a impulsive move up like this, you want to see continuation, but what you want to see is confirmation of going long. And what I mean by that is once the previous high gets closed out by a candle body, you want to see that re-tap into that area of demand, and you get that with this wick here. Once you get that retap of that demand, if the momentum is in that direction, so in this case we have the 10 over the 20, the black line is the 10-day moving average, and the green line is the 20-day moving average. Since we do have a cross of these moving averages, it is more likely that we are going to start taking out previous highs. That is why my target for this trade is this current high. So we got exactly what we're looking for. Unfortunately, we didn't have our phase 2 credentials, so we weren't able to get into this trade. But we'll be looking for another trade here. Let's see if there's any news today real quick. Today is FOMC minutes. Okay, so tomorrow is going to be a pretty big day for the Dixie. We have unemployment claims. So let's see. That was our entry here. Let me stop right there. So I will be looking for another entry here in New York, possibly a little bit more accumulation before I move up, and possibly looking to hold this a little bit longer than this high, but probably taking some profits here. Let's look at NASDAQ. So NASDAQ is going exactly where we thought it would, into this area of demand here, and possibly retest of the 50-day moving average, which is this blue line. So if that is the case, if we do get a retest here, that'll go in line with UCAD going up, wiping out these highs. I'm seeing some sort of retracement here. Yeah, Dixie's looking bullish. You can see that we couldn't close below the previous low. This is on the 4-hour, and on the 1-hour we are setting higher highs and higher lows. Yeah, we have a high, or a low, high, low, high. So we can kind of continue. I mean, we should trade assuming that the trend is going to continue. So I'm going to stay bullish on the Dixie until I'm proven otherwise. And I'm going to be trading US dollar pairs. Hey Stilthy, what's up? Oops. Doing good. On phase 2 of this challenge that we're doing live. So trying to see if we can honestly get this done by like early next week. Hopefully we get some good entries here on the Dixie. And then Dixie has pretty clean price action right now. We're just setting higher highs and higher lows. So trading Dixie pairs is probably the way to go right now. Let me see. Look at that. That's just clean. Higher highs and higher lows. Bitcoin higher time frame. Let's check it out. Oh, this is good. So I think the first thing I see on Bitcoin, I'm just going to the weekly, is that we couldn't close above this high. And if this week we don't close above this high again, then we are going to see some sort of retracement. But we are closing above these bases, these previous bases. So what will likely happen is that since we couldn't, so we tested this base, couldn't close above, we're gonna come back down to retest this base. And if we can find some sort of support on this base, and then we're gonna be going back up to test probably this base here at 58. Yeah, Bitcoin is just gonna be, I mean, Bitcoin has like really clear price bases, so it's just gonna be bouncing between these bases and seeing if it's going to reclaim it or not. So pretty much all you just really want to look for is I go to the daily and see if you're creating shifts in market structure. So just say we come back down to this line and then we create a shift in market structure here, then you can look to go long here. And vice versa, when you come up here, create a high, but then you create a new low that breaks the previous low. Then you can look to go short here when price comes back up. Check out Fetch and Phantom. Let's do it. Oh man, what a move on Fetch. Oops. What was that move here? Wow. It was a 2x move. Oh, that's crazy. If I just the same idea, you took out relatively equal highs here on the weekly. We're probably not closing above this. This looks like a good time for retracement. you can see like when you have these price bases, they're just areas of retest. So you on the weekly, you're not closing above it, so you want to go on lower time frames and see if you're creating shifts in market structure. And we're clearly setting lower highs and lower lows right now. And we're accepted back into value area, so you can definitely see price action move through value area. Let's see. So yeah, I think we are going to see some sort of retracement here for fetch, especially with a move like this. But if you go to the daily and then you give this a couple days, you see price action like this, then I would draw out some lines on these bases. And on this range, I would look for manipulation before move up. Yeah, if you're in like spot or even like a leverage position on fetch, dude, that's a lot of money. Check out Phantom. Oh, nice. This these trades right here, these are from the last time we talked about Phantom, which is perfect off the H4 bullish base. This is exactly what we talked about. Yeah, I haven't opened this chart since the last time we talked. This is definitely what we went over last time. Higher time frame though. Let's see. Yeah, it's like all the same idea. You just go to the weekly. You can see that we're just not closing above these highs. And that's why you see like these deeper retracements on the like lower time frames. Yeah, for Phantom, I just look here. I look currently on this low. We're not closing below it on the 4 hour. So if you wanted to trade or like make a scalp, this is probably the area. I know you trade on the 1 minute, so let's check. Honestly, looking good for a scalp right now. Lower time frame setting higher highs, higher lows. Finding support on the 20-day. This could be a scalp right here. Kind of just depends on the types of scalps you trade. But we do have a change of character. You created a imbalance. Maybe you can go for one of these bases up here. Yeah, you want to see body closes above previous highs. So just go to the weekly here. Just say you were on, so like if you're looking here, right? Candle close above the previous high. You get your retap into that base, so you have this base. These candle wicks gets, picks up all the demand from this area. You go up, you close above these highs, you get retap into all that demand. You go up. You do have like some weak highs here, but not like a clear high on the weekly, which is probably why you can see like this indecisive candle, like a small body and two large wicks. But ultimately Bitcoin probably ended up pushing up and you get this big move up here. But now you can't close above the previous high with these wicks, so you see retracement. Yeah, I think when you're doing higher time frame analysis, I wouldn't overcomplicate it. It's just, are you making higher highs, higher lows? Are you clearing previous highs with candle bodies? And you want to check your moving averages to see the general direction of the trend. How I look for an entry, that really depends on your strategy and your system, right? For me, I trade primarily on the 1 hour. So pretty much all I want to look for on my entries is that I just want to make sure if I'm taking a long trade, that we do have the 10-day over the 20, which is the black line over the green line. And depending on which assets I'm trading, my risk is a variable. So just say we're traveling above the 10-day. So for example, say we're traveling above the 10-day moving average, but the trend is bearish. My risk is going to be different than if we're still traveling above the 10-day, but the trend is bullish. But that all comes down to your backtesting and how you are developing your system. But sorry, I'm kind of like not answering your question. So how I would find an entry is just say I'm traveling above the 10-day and I'm looking for a long position. Like here, you have a clear broken base. Hold on. I actually wouldn't take this trade. The reason I wouldn't take this trade, so we actually did get a retest of this base, right? The reason I wouldn't enter this, even though it was a good trade, but in my system, I personally wouldn't have entered this because we had already wiped out all of this liquidity. So if I just didn't have all this price action on the left in continuation, I actually would have just assumed that this was gonna continue, or not continue, but come back down to like test lower bases, possibly like down here. That would have been my assumption, but let's see. Oh, so yeah, so these are the entries that we talked about last time. Let me get rid of these. So you do have clear breaks of bases here, right? So this is the previous price base after tapping into an area of demand. Once you have these clear breaks, and you have, so this would be like an A+ setup for me. So you have the cross of the 10 over the 20. You have clear breaks of price bases by all these candles here. And if I was just watching this, you can see this is just accumulating, right? Before like the large move up. So how I would find the entry, it depends on the asset, but I would find an entry anywhere within the price base and the low. So it really, like I said, it depends on the asset, but like one way you could do it is you can take your FRVP, take it back from like a decent range from what you're arranging, just like this, and you can take the entry on, so depending on where the value area is, usually you want to set the stop below value area. So just say we're entering on the base and stop below the value area, value area low, I mean, which is right here. And you can see that actually came straight down to the value area low. And you can set your targets on watch the liquidity, which could be like all the way up here. But that's something you can mess around with, because just say you tested out on Phantom and then you entered always, so just say you always set the stop below the low, but you entered always on the value area low, right? You get a really clean entry here. You know, just say you did that for your system, always entered on value area low, and that works for trading on Phantom, then perfect. But you might have like a lot of missed trades just because you don't get picked up. So it really just depends, because you want to be profitable in the long run, right? Especially if you're doing prop firm challenges, since you only have like a drawdown of 10 trades, because technically you can only lose 10 trades in a row if you're risking 1% of your account. That's all stuff you want to account into your system. Yeah, it is. Pretty much that my strategy hasn't changed for a very long time. I just trade off price bases, and like the details of how I trade the price bases just change a little bit depending on the asset I'm trading, because each asset reacts a little differently. For example, like the Dixie or the Canadian dollar or the euro, they act a little different on the price bases. Gold, for example, I don't trade gold because they actually just like, gold just doesn't respect price bases like at all. They'll just like move straight through them. But yeah, that's the general strat and general idea. So yeah, for Phantom, higher time frame, it's looking kind of bearish, but lower time frame, maybe you can like scalp this. This could honestly just be a retracement before a larger move up. We do have momentum still, so if I were to trade this, I would just be fishing for longs. But I'd probably also be hedging shorts here. Yeah, no problem, Stealthy. Oh, I haven't entered this trade. This is actually looking a little bearish. Maybe it's a good thing I did enter this trade. Plus more spot calls. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I'm only holding spot on a very few coins. Like I'm holding Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I have a couple other altcoins, but I don't really know a lot of like the, I guess like the newer gen cryptos. So like for example like Fetch, I had never heard of that. So if there's anything that you hear buzzing around, just let me know, and I'll do some trading on the Discord. So we have 20 minutes until New York Open. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do feel like calling areas of like retest on higher time frames is a little easier. The bases are more clear, right? So just say you're looking at Phantom here, like these bases are super clear, right? This was that high that was cleared, and like picture perfect on the dot, like retest of that base. Another base that was cleared. Another entry on the dot. Base was cleared here. This was another entry. We cleared some highs. I don't know, we probably didn't clear, yeah, like we didn't close above this on the 4 hour, probably didn't close above it on any other higher time frame. So you see retracement. Yeah, it's probably honestly the view up and these lines, they're just day separators. It's very hard to see, isn't it? And my eyes are just accustomed to it, but yeah, I can clear it up for the stream. I'll probably make it a lot easier. This one, so that's the day separator. I don't think we need space over there. That probably looks a lot cleaner, doesn't it? But yeah, does it make sense, Silthy? Like, these bases are just areas of high chance of retests. So, like, just say you're trading purely on the 4 hour. All these lows here were not closed up by candles, but then when it finally closed by a 4 hour candle here, this one, you see we have like one up candle. That's your retest into that area of supply here, and then you see price move down like drastically. So just say you're like trading this on a lower time frame, you finally see that 4 hour close, so you can go down to like the 5 minute. Oh shit, where were we? Okay, we go down to like the 5 minute here. So I think the candle close was like somewhere in this area. This was the 4 hour candle close. So once you see that, you're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna get retests. You're looking here, and then you're looking for a shift in the other way, right? When you get your shift, you want to make sure you are retesting some of these bases. So you retest these bases, and now you're looking for a shift. Then you finally get your shift in market structure right here, where you get a candle close below. You can enter on like that next candle or on a retest, and you can aim for liquidity on this side here. And that's how I would like call like lower time frame trades on the Discord. But that's pretty much the general idea, and that's what I do on the 1 hour. I just find that this strategy works best on the 1 hour. It works pretty well on the 4 hour too, but that's more for like spot swings. I like to get a little bit more trades in. So if I trade on the 1 hour, it allows me to get like anywhere from like 3 to like 6 trades in a week. So yeah, that's the idea pretty much. Cool. Sounds good, man. Yeah, thanks for dropping by. If you need anything, just let me know. So I haven't set up my Phase 2 account yet. Definitely would have taken this trade, but now looking at it, since we're not closing above the 4 hour above these highs, this is looking kind of bearish, so I'm kind of glad I didn't take this trade. That's something that I would have missed. So pretty much here, if this hourly candle closes, I'm going to be looking for a retrace and be looking for a short position here. That's only if you get the hourly close. Looks like we're not getting the close below this. Just gonna hold this for now. We just need confirmation before we take a trade here. Cool, so we did clear these highs. It was looking bearish on the 4-hour, but it looks like on the 1-hour we're back on track with our original idea of getting in on this trend continuation. Targeting this high. I'm still getting my phase 2 credential set up, so I wasn't able to get in on this long trade here. Alrighty, so I'm gonna set up my account, and if we get a little bit more ranging here, I will look for a trade, maybe find an entry on a lower time frame. On the lower time frame, we do have this breaker structure, and it looks like we are retapping in to see some of the PA like that. So I will keep you guys in touch. I'll post updates on my Discord, and yeah,